It's the middle of winter, and the hikes are getting more intense. I put on 3 socks, long johns, 2-3 sweaters, a jacket, hat, scarf, gloves, and Pirooz, my mother exclaims as we're about to head out the door. Put this earmuff for your ear. I put on the earmuffs and head out. My dad and I usually take a hilly path. I like to vary, my dad explains. One day is hill, next is more relax. Relax means that instead of 2 solid hours of a series of uphill climbs, we'll do 3.5 hours walking circles through a series of fields on the far side of the park. This is like a kind of track, I tell my dad. Yes, he agrees. On Sundays, my brother Pana sometimes joins us. It's funny, Pana says. Dad's always up front. He's like our motivation and he's 70 years old. My dad has always had this discipline. I find out on one of the hikes that running became his daily exercise when he started having stomach issues because of the various stresses he encountered after we immigrated. After I graduate, I have offered to go back to teaching in Canada. This was my dream, to be the dean of a university. But the visa was going to take too long, so I got scared what is going to happen to us. So I take the job at ORS. We ended up moving from Indiana to New Jersey after that. My dad started his career as a scientist in the corporate sector. I learned about Michael Jackson. And with all the stress of life, he started a daily exercise routine, which included running and then tennis.
You didn't say anything. Say something. Boris.
Alberto.
When I come back to this life, I want to be a professional tennis player, my dad said, still hiking. I want to be just like Roger Federer. I was about 7 years old when we started playing tennis. My dad had never seen a tennis court, but he liked it right away and decided that this would be the sport for me. This was my thinking, my dad continued, to make you a professional tennis player. We would either run, play tennis, or do both daily. All other time was reserved for studying. My dad set up a school desk in my room, and he would give me complex word problems to have me solve them in between the exercise routines. If I had any free time, I played with my friend Zen. He lived in the apartment complex just a block down from us. We usually practiced doing the moonwalk or playing soccer. If other kids were around, we usually played wall ball. It was on one of these wall ball days that we saw the school bully come up with a bunch of girls and a frisbee. He was older than all of us and twice our size. He'd often come on the school bus and shove kids out of his way to his seat in the back of the bus. Sometimes even make fun of my name. What kind of name is that? He'd say. Iranian, I'd say. I'm gonna call you Brewski. That's a better name. I thought that was a good name too. So after he told me that and started introducing me as Bruce or Brewski, I'd even start introducing myself at school like that. My name is Pirooz, but you can call me Bruce, I'd say. Hey, Brewski, he shouted out to me in Zen with the girls giggling behind him. These girls want to play Kissie-Kissie with you. I had never played the game, and I was a bit suspicious. Last week, the bully had killed a squirrel with his BB gun. I had heard the baby squirrels crying after that, so I climbed the tree and rescued them. I brought my dad and told him what happened. Never hurt animal, my dad said. This is not good. I didn't do it, I explained. I want to help them. Another neighborhood kid ended up taking the baby squirrels with him and taking care of them. But I was still mad at the bully for killing the mother squirrel. That was wrong. Are you playing or not? The bully said. Maybe, I said. How do you play? You see, the bully said, I throw you the frisbee. If you have it, then the girls kiss you. You're it then? Zen said. Yeah, the bully said. You're it. I love to play games. That was my favorite. Kick the can, wall ball. I loved any game. All right, I said. I'm ready to play. The bully threw the frisbee to one of his friends. Then he threw it to Zen. I'm open, I shouted as the girls rushed over to Zen. Zen got it to me just in the nick of time. He almost got kissed. I ran as fast as I could with the frisbee. The girls couldn't catch me at all. I was winning for sure. Then I tripped and fell. Throw it, the bully shouted at me. I threw it to him. Then he just pretended to throw it and just held on to it. The girls all rushed over to him and started kissing him. What are you doing? I shouted. Throw it. The bully just smiled and turned over into some more kisses. I couldn't understand. Why would he lose the game like that? What a stupid game. Then I got curious. They started the game again and I got the frisbee and did like the bully did and just held on. The girls kissed me. My best friend Erin was there and she kissed me too. I liked being kissed. It was nice. Then I understood the game. You were supposed to get kissed. So I played Kissie-Kissie a couple more times with the bully, but I was still mad about what he did to the squirrel. And then one day, the bully pushed Zen into the dirt and then started punching him while his friends egged him on. Hit him! Hit him! They shouted. Hit him! Hit him! they chanted. I could feel myself getting angrier and angrier. I didn't like to do this, but I did it sometimes. I called it going red. I'd let myself get real angry or fill up with power, and then I just let everything go. I did it sometimes when I played soccer, and it made me a really good goalie and defender. I'd just go straight for the ball and get it, or score a goal, or stop one. I was full red with the bully and his friends after they heard Zen. I charged up and ran straight at the bully and knocked him on the ground. Then I helped Zen get up. You okay? I asked. Zen didn't say anything. He was ashamed. That made me angrier. I told the bully and his friends that what they were doing wasn't nice, and I'd tell on them. Oh, the bully said, we're really scared. They circled us for a bit after that, calling us names, and then they walked home. Let's go home, I said to Zen. Okay, he said. After that, they called me names whenever they saw me. They usually called me brown boy or smelly, or other meaner names I didn't understand because they were slang, like sand nigger. But I tried my best to ignore them like my dad taught me. It's not good to call people names, my dad told me. He killed the squirrel and hurt people, I said. He's not a good boy. Calling people names doesn't help, my dad said. Just let it go. The bully got worse after that. I'd try and be quiet and not say anything. Then I'd usually start crying. Hey, crybaby, the bully said. Are you gonna cry to mommy? We were on the bus. Everyone was looking at me. Then I stood up and said it. My name is not Bruce or Brewski. My name is Pirooz, I said, and wiped my nose. I'm not Bruce anymore. The whole bus got quiet after that. No one said anything. The bully even stopped bothering me. I'm not sure why. You stand up for yourself, my dad said, going up the hill. This is how I raise you, to be independent. Yeah, I said. It was almost 4 p.m. The sun was setting and my dad pointed at it. Look at the sun, how beautiful. Yeah, I said, beautiful.
Coming through the leaves, you see how beautiful it is?
I wonder about the bully and where he might be now. How my dad's life might have been different without being an Iranian immigrant. I thought about how many times I had to stand up when I didn't want to, about how many more times I might have to stand again. I thought about how many friends and family members had been thrown in opposing corners because of the election. I thought about the pandemic getting worse in the coming months with no job in sight. I thought about being single and alone and middle-aged and lonely. Come here, son, my dad said, and held out his arms. Sometimes we have to appreciate the beauty of this natural world, no matter what is going on outside. I hugged my dad and looked up at the sun peeking through the trees behind him. تنهای تنها تنها تو دنیا من خسته و دور به سوی فردا تنهای تنها تنها تو دنیا من خسته و دور به سوی فردا تو این جدایی من بودم و شب من بودم و عشق قدر تمنا تو این جدایی من بودم و شب
Now you have to go on your knees like you did after I said, who is that guy?